Hi, I'm James. Welcome to day 18 of the Backyard Chappies bus tour, and we're on the not so sunny coast. We drove down from Gympie this morning for a brekkie club at Koroy State School. We then went 15 minutes down the road to Nambour State High School. We put on a sausage sizzle for the local chappies and supporters. Radio 106.5 Rima was here to celebrate with us, and we had a chat to our chaplain, Matt Brady.
I was a slaughterman and enjoying that. I liked it. I thought it was a great job. And I got injured at work and couldn't go back to that or things I'd done previously. So I spent quite a while off work on compo and sickness benefits, and during that time I was volunteering with Teen Challenge, working with highly at-risk kids, a lot of kids from families with addictions and various types of abuse going on. And I loved it. I find I related to those kids really well. Then I started teaching RE at Maroochydore High School and became the RE coordinator there. That's about 20 years ago now. And then I heard about chaplaincy. It was very small in those days, and I heard about the job, came up at Nambour Burnside and applied for it and got it and never looked back. I can't think of a job that is more impacting and a role that is more impacting, particularly for someone who wants to follow what Christ said to do and look after the poor, because the poor in our nation are our kids. They've got it really tough these days. And when we're talking about the least of these, there's no more the least of these than our kids in our schools. They're doing it really tough. I spend a lot of my time, probably 80% of my time, with what I call my TREC groups, which are groups that meet weekly. They're a pastoral care group, if you like. We meet weekly, we learn about trust, problem solving, bond building, relationships, how to treat other people, and the groups grow very close. When we've achieved that, we take them on a 3-day wilderness experience. It's a very hard experience. Every year it's getting harder. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of spatial shift going on where the mountains are moving further apart or something. It's got nothing to do with the fact I'm 50 this year, I'm sure. So I spend 80% of my time either working with those groups or with the kids out of those groups who want to speak one-on-one about issues. And the rest of my time is spent with other kids, walking around the playground, speaking with staff members about issues they might be having, etc. There was a girl many years ago, joined my TREC program, said she didn't have any problems, and probably didn't at the time, but her whole life was built on a lie because her parents' perfect marriage turned out to be a sham and they separated. She started drinking too much and abusing her body in other ways, and she really struggled with her self-worth. She thought she was rubbish because of the things that had happened to her, and she used to come to my office and we'd talk for hours sometimes, and she'd cry and sometimes I'd cry because it was so sad to see her going through this, and she was harming herself and she was suicidal and all these sorts of things. And later that year on her graduation day, I asked her and her group to sit down and just write something about what it meant to have a chaplain in the TREC group. And she said to me, "I'm alive because of you, Matt, because in those dark nights, those long dark nights when I didn't want to be around anymore, I knew I could come to school on Monday and be loved." And that's what kept me going. So that's a story I will never forget.
And in the afternoon we headed over to Life Point Baptist Church for an LCC fundraising forum. Finally, we made our way to Suncoast Church for a fundraising event for the Woombye and Palmwoods local chaplaincy committees. Tomorrow we're back in Brisbane on the north side, so stay tuned.